Hey everyone, it's Janet here. I decided to film this a little differently, at a different angle. Walk and talk and maybe do this a little differently instead of always like doing this in my little creative hub. So this article popped up in my Instagram feed a couple of weeks ago, and the headline is what grabbed me. I said, I don't want to look 22 anymore. And I thought that was just like crazy. Because like, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, the article said, I don't want to look 22 anymore. And I was like, who wants to look like they're always like 22? Or who always wants to look like they're a past? Who wants to look like they've never changed in their style? And the article was written by a supermodel, Paulina Porizkova. And it really grabbed me. The headline really spoke to me because it's exactly the way it's kind of the things that I've been teaching my clients a lot. I teach the fact that you should always be discovering and thinking about how your style is going to help you launch your next chapter. And so when the headline said, I don't want to look 22 anymore, I was like, absolutely, hell yes. I mean, it's not that I'm specifically referring to myself looking like I'm 22, but I wanted to say that what she said was that she didn't want to step out looking like she was trying so hard to be young, or she was trying so hard to look a certain way. She wanted to look current. She wanted to evolve in her style. She wanted to share. She wanted everyone to see that, you know, when she steps on the stage again, she'd been a supermodel for a long time, and then she took a break, you know, she had kids, and when she decided to get back on the stage at Balmain and debut her comeback, she was okay with realizing that she wasn't 22 anymore. She had kids, she had gotten married, she had evolved in so many different areas. So it wouldn't make sense to look like she was the supermodel that made it onto the big debut years ago. The article really hit home for me because I started to realize that so many of us really don't think about like how our style is a reflection of who we are. Are we dressing for the person that we are becoming? Are we dressing for the person that's about to launch something big? Or are we dressing for the person that's going to, you know, become someone different? And so we never think about those things when we think about our style. And so I thought it would be really fun. Our style is a reflection of who we are, and our style is all about being current and reflecting that new person. And that's what makes style fun. It's not about following trends. It's not about what's, you know, this person or that person wearing. It's about us and all the unique things that we bring. And why do we not think about our style? Why do we not like think about our style in that sense? And how can we capture that person that's changing? How do we capture the person that's changing in their style? How do we capture the person? How do we capture our style as a reflection of who we are? How do we capture the person? Because that's what makes our style so unique. It's a representation of who we are. And I think a lot of us forget that. We get stuck in, is this business casual? Is this appropriate? Am I looking youthful? Or do I look out of season? Do I look too trendy? And none of that matters. It's really about who we are. I think a lot of us have missed the mark in style by following these rigid, preconceived notions that we have to put ourselves into this box. And what I thought the article hit a really couple of great points in that area that, you know, I don't want to look like I'm 22. The article hit a lot of really great points. And one of those was, you're changing, you're becoming, you're evolving, and your style is a reflection of that. Do you still want to wear, I'm not saying that you always have to throw away those old pieces that you've had from the last few years or from a different era. It's about sometimes giving it a different spin and realizing that, you know, I wore it that way a few years ago from a past period of my life, but I'm not really that person anymore. I don't want to wear it that same way anymore. I was at the Mute concert at the Fox Theater, and I was talking to a woman named Pleasures. I know, sounds kind of crazy, but she was wearing this houndstooth dress, and she said, honestly, this dress is from 3 eras ago. And she said, you know what, I wasn't ready to give it up. And she said, I wanted to give it a different kind of spin to the way I'm wearing it. So that night, she put the dress on, and it still fit. And what was really cool was that she made it more festive. She added some kitten ears and she added some other accessories. So it wasn't just the same like cute like junior high school dress that she had worn for so long. It was just more edgy and more like festive. And that's what we're missing a lot in our style. We miss that a lot in our style. We become too attached to this certain narrow niche of what it has to look like. And what if it looked much different? And what if it could just be us? What if we could just blossom into that next era of who we are and allow our style to really reflect that new person, to really capture the essence, to really let us shine, to let us like be who we want to be? And what if our style really captured, what if our style really helped? What if as we worked on discovering our style, we helped ourselves elevate our self-confidence, our self-esteem? Because it's really what comes down to at the end of the day. Like, yes, looking great, having great clothes is amazing, but if it doesn't do anything for your self-confidence and your self-esteem, it doesn't help you in other areas of your life, what are you wearing those clothes for? Then it's time to really look at your clothes from a different lens, to really think about like, maybe I'm wearing the clothes as if they're just clothes and I'm not really wearing them to showcase who I am.